He's my boy. He's my screensaver on my phone. Like I believe in him more than I believe in my boxing career. He'll
Yeah.
be a world champion 1,000,000% more than I know I'll promote a world title fight. So if we
Mm.
get some good footage from here and blast it around the internet, I can have at least 150,000 that have seen it. The amount of people that online portray they're a boxer, and then when it comes to it, they don't want to. There's no money in it. I haven't made any money. I'm at a loss. It's just me. I haven't got no backing. The sponsors are my friends.
Welcome back to Hook Boxing. This is 30 minutes with a boxing promoter. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. First of all, how are you?
Yeah, very good. Thanks, mate. Very good. Just watching the media workout for the AJ fight. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, how are you? You good?
I'm very good. Did you see Ngannou's body shots? The sound
Yeah.
of those. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I still think AJ's going to win now. I think AJ's going to knock him out.
I think so, too. I think the ref will stop it, but
yeah, I'm looking forward
we'll see.
to it.
Yeah, quite happy it's on a Friday as well. Means I get to see all of the undercard because I wanted to see Zhang Parker. I'm more excited for that than the main event, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, good one, that. And it's seemed like a long weekend there because a card like that being on a Friday is not normal, is it? So it'll feel like a Saturday.
No.
Yeah.
That's good. So I think the first thing we'll actually talk about is the event that TopTier and yourself have just announced or recently announced, which is just good from top to bottom, good. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to butcher some of these names. So that's on me. I've tried to learn them, but I'm so bad with names, man. Take it after my mum. But the first one, the one that I'm like most excited for is Ben Crocker and then Papadopoulos. Let's go with that. I mean, that's poor, but
yeah, that's perfect. You done better than me there. Yeah, that's great. Best in Wales versus best in Greece. To be honest, it's a privilege to have it on my card. That's a big arena fight in my eyes, and it's early. We tried getting it for a title, but Ben needed 8 rounds and he didn't get it. The fight before was going to be for an 8-rounder, and this could have been for a title, for a European title, but it just didn't work out. But they wanted to fight anyway, and I said, listen, both of them are touch and go whether they could get a title. So I said, winning this, then obviously the next one can be for that. So it's a real good fight. So I've had Stelios on my show before, outstanding. He dealt with John Henry Mosquera better than Cameron Vaughan dealt with him. If you go back and watch that fight, like Stelios actually dropped him. And Ben Crocker, actually my first story in boxing was I went up to Wales for a show, and he was on that, and he stood out on that show. So now to have both of them on the show is a bit surreal, and it's funny how boxing works out, mate. It's a small world, and it always turns around, and it's a nice story, and I'm glad it's on.
Yeah. We've also got a title fight in Amy Andrew versus another name that I'm going to butcher, Lindsay Brzezinski. We'll go with that.
I think it rhymes, Lindsay Brzezinski. Yeah. So
okay, it's Brzezinski. All right.
Great fight.
Commonwealth. Yeah.
Yeah, it was touch and go really because Lindsay needed to win a tough fight couple of weeks ago before I could announce it. So we're sitting there waiting. There was no stream of just refreshing all the feeds and that, making sure everything was good to go. And then, lucky enough, she won. Great fight, apparently, as well. And that set up. Great. Amy was on the last one. The fight got cut short because she got a cut. But it's a great fight, honestly. And it's a privilege to have a decent belt and a female title on my show.
Well, I think that's something that TopTier do really well, is they are very equally spread. I mean, I'm not saying that other promotions don't try, but you always have good women's fights on the TopTier shows, which I think it's good to see, man.
It's a different crowd. Bringing a different crowd as well. They're not as men, different. Like when you look around, you can see there's more females because there's females on, families as well, and they're all supporting. So it's a different vibe that comes with it, and that probably leads us to obviously Harley and Karina. Great fight, 8 rounds. Harley comes through this, probably a title on her next fight. Hopefully to get that on my show. But she's got a good manager and coach and her dad, and he's bringing her through slowly. But it's hard to get matching Hardy because she's good, and there's not many female boxers around, is there?
Yeah.
It's quite hard, and she'll be hopefully 6-0 soon, and ready for a title, in my opinion. They know, I
mean,
believe. Oh, she's very good, very spiteful. You speak to her, she's a nice, angelic young lady, and then you see her in the ring, you think, bloody hell. Yeah, she's animal, absolute
yeah,
animal.
that's the thing with women's boxing. They get fast tracked because
Yeah, like
there's a
Nina
lot
Hughes.
of competition at the bottom and at the top, and there's not a lot of middle ground just yet.
Yeah, no,
So
that's it. Unfortunately, that probably leads us on to our next conversation with Louise Alton. Louise Alton was going to fight for the English on my show,
yeah,
but she didn't pass because her fight recently got pulled last minute, so she was 2-0, not 3-0.
right,
But you know, Nina Hughes was in a world title fight at 4-0, and she was 5 and holding the title. So
yeah,
in my eyes, I was like, you know, that was already booked in as the final eliminator for Kirsty Hill's Commonwealth title. So whoever
yeah,
won that would add that hopefully on my next show. But unfortunately now she had to change opponent. If Amy wins on the weekend, I believe it's a tough fight against Becky Ferguson. But if she wins that, we might be able to get Louise v Amy for a silver Commonwealth, and
okay,
then that'll be eliminator for the full Commonwealth title. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's
a
good.
real good match up, mix and match. You know, anyone on this show can fight each other on the next show. That's
Yeah,
how it's
yeah,
looking.
bit of
Yeah,
storyline as well. It's good
yeah,
to
yeah.
sell. Yeah,
Bit of footage for me as well.
yeah,
Whereas you
yeah,
know, media side of it, and obviously the videographers. If we've got more footage of them that's ours, we can use it in their promos, setting them up against each other. You know, building the fight now. I can say mentioning this name, mention this, and then we can read it when we're doing a promo. So yeah, it works.
yeah. That's something I wanted to talk to you actually about. Top Tier's media side, they're sort of the packaging on the product, if you like, is like
Yes,
levels above. It's Matchroom Queensbury level in that
yeah,
sense. Is that like, I mean, obviously you've put a lot of time into that, but is that something you, when you started out, you went, no,
yeah,
that has to be a
yeah.
priority?
And it puts us above everyone else, in my opinion, and everyone else is trying to follow along. But if I'm being honest, it's the sponsors that help me out because it's so much money. If you want the best, you've got to pay for the best. As simple as
Yeah,
that. And it cost me a lot of money, but like I said, my first show, you could have 1,600 people in there. I called it the statement, and the only people that was going to know was them 1,600 people. So if we get some good footage from here and blast it around the internet, I can have at least 150,000 that have seen it, you know?
yeah,
And that's the type of views we're turning over now every month, 150,000 view the page. So we're building it slowly. Like every post I used to post used to get between 100, 200 likes. We're going up now, it's like 800, you know? So you can feel the rise of it. And it's just because the quality, you know, I
yeah,
want the best posters, the best promo videos, the best build up, the best media day, but I need to get the best fights, and all that brings in the better fighters. But then after that, you want the best replays, you know, you don't want to
yeah,
drag it out either, because you don't want everyone to be bored of it. And that's why I changed the color of every show, just so you can see like that's done there, on to the next one, next color, that's done, on to the next one. But I
yeah.
believe it sets us above everyone else is the quality of our brand.
I completely agree. I think not when was it? I was talking to Tom Galbraith maybe a month ago. I'm not quite sure, and he was saying how he was finding himself like calling people out and having arguments, and he was like, "That's not really something he would do," but because he's got this, he feels like he is the main event almost for a
Yeah,
massive show. So he's there like, "No, I'm going to be cocky and put on this like alter ego," and I think
yeah.
it's brilliant. It gets the best out of the fighters.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It very good. And you know what? Like when you get into boxing, you realise that not many people actually want to fight. You know, like they all do it on Instagram and whatnot. But then when it comes to it and the offers are on the table, like if mate, if I showed you some of the conversations, what I wouldn't do. If I showed you the conversations I have with managers, like it's mind blowing. The amount of people that online portray they're a boxer, and then when it comes to it, they don't want to.
Yeah,
It's great, but I understand on some of it, it's their health at risk for one.
yeah,
Um, but the idea of my show was to help these type of boxers that are just stuck between a big fight and a small hall. That when I want
yeah,
to bridge the, but what they've got to understand is there's no money in it. You know, I haven't made any money. I'm at a loss. You know, so how can I pay all this big money? Because they see all this show, they think there's big money in it. It's just me. I haven't got no backing. You know, the sponsors are my friends that just help out and pay for little bits here and there.
yeah, yeah,
I've covered quite a bit of it. Then it's taken a loss. but I know what the bigger picture is going to come of. So it's nice to get someone like Thomas, you know, the Ryan Maycocks, and the Stelios, that come on and just know, like, look, you're not going to earn loads of money, but what you are going to do, you're going to build yourself. You're going to get out there. Like the likes of Eddie and Queensbury, they're going to look at my show and think, wow, he looks good. And they're going to see it. I know they see it, you know. So that's what they're going to get from my show. And if they believe in me and give me that, they'll still earn money out of my show, more than what I would earn. So they're still winning. It just needs to give me a little. And the ones that understand will do well. The ones that understand will do well.
Yeah. I think you described yourself as an academy for the big boys. I think that's you said a couple months back on IFL TV, and I think that's a good way of describing it right now.
Yeah, you can tell I like my football. But yeah, I'd see myself as the academy, and like the main event and co-main event of this show, realistically, they shouldn't be on my shows. Yeah, because people are asking in the 20, 30 grands to fight them. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So Konstantin Ursu is an absolute monster. Yeah, and everyone who has turned him down. Yeah. So he wins this is mandatory for the full Commonwealth. Yeah. If he defends his title, he's managed to get an opponent who is game and he is good, and I'm excited that he's on. But in my eyes, like obviously, I believe Ursu wins. He's my boy. He's my screensaver on my phone. You know, like, I believe in it more than I believe in my boxing career. You know, he'll be a world champion 1,000,000% more than I know I'll promote a world title fight. That's how much I believe. Yeah. But he wins this. I need to get him on. I don't manage him. I've just promoted him. So what I'll do is I'm going to make like a little video of him and I'll just ping it to all the big boys after this. Because what he says in his interviews is what he does in the fight. It's scary. Yeah. He even threw a towel at Rod Julian at my weigh-in, a white towel, and said, use that in the 6th round. I didn't see that. Yeah, I was out talking with some nonsense that was going on. And he was like, don't you throw it at me? I was like, what are you on about? And I didn't know till afterwards, yeah? And then if you watch the fight back in the 6th round, Rod should have threw the towel. That's how scary this is. I'm telling you. But he didn't. He done it on the stall at the end of the 7th, I believe, or 8th maybe. He got a couple more out of him. But that's what he done. I went and I said, I know what you've done. He went, I'm clever. Then they looked on in his accent. I said, I know. You done that so he didn't throw in the towel. He went, yeah. And I was like, you're clever. I said, but don't think I didn't realise. But yeah, unbelievable. And him and Stelios or Ben Crocker, because Ben's in a good fight and he can come through. And obviously Bassi Rasak as well. Any one of them that come through, they're just going to be too good for the small hall. So then I have to do my best to promote them so they get picked up. And I had a meet with like my broadcaster, and they was like, but why won't you hold on to them and own a bit of them? And I said, because if I get Crocker, Stelios, Harley Whitwell, who else has been signed from the show? Jack Martin, Ely Zach Fee, Harley Whitwell, Louise Alton. If I get all them a big shot on TV, like proper TV, you know, I'm on AOZ. It's not proper, you know, I'm not paid and they're not paid. So if I get them that opportunity and they go, then what do you think happens? Like, you know, in a football team, you get more people come to you because they know they're going to get a trial at Arsenal or West Ham. So I said, my sales thinking that I will lose them, but I'll gain such a bigger crowd coming in because I've got the April shows done. Yeah. It's already full up. June's done. You know, like I've got a queue now, people to get on September. And that's how the product's working. And obviously a card like this can be built because everyone asked me to come on the previous show. I said, no, but you can go on this one and you have to be in a 50-50. And then I put them to them and they've all accepted. So that's how you build great cards and that's how I'm building my brand.
So you're building a reputation, like a proper reputable. Yeah. Because, I mean, the brand itself, I think, has quite clearly gone past, with no disrespect. Well, actually, maybe a little bit disrespect. I don't know. I'm not too bothered. The other guys, like, it has gone past them. Yeah. The fighters, I mean, Ursu's proper. Like, I've watched a lot of your guys, well, a lot of people, a lot of them. Ursu is, I mean, I don't know if he'll be a world champion, but I can see why you would, like, definitely put your money on it because, like you say, he is a bit scary. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to. I mean, I almost wouldn't want to meet him, but he's good.
So polite, so well mannered, so respectful. and the team around him, like they take him all over sparring. Mate, if you hear the sparring stories and the levels of the names of the sparring, obviously sparring and talk to talk. But if you just the boxers, I won't mention them because it's not my place to, but they're all world champions. And then when I do my little pitch video for him after this show, I'll just say, watch this video and speak to A, B, and C. Yeah, and then make your decision whether you want to sign this fella. He's a Moldovan monster, mate. I'm telling you now. Like, I can't speak highly enough of him. And I know good things will come from him. And I'm his fan. I'm basically a fan of him now, and I get to promote him one more time. I know that. This is my last time with him. I know. So I want to make the most of it.
Yeah. You are like more than I would say you're a super fan at this point. You like talk about him with love almost. It's good. I mean, it's probably it's good to see though. It's not like you're just money based, which is nice.
I lose it, so there's no way I could talk about it.
I've got some more general questions now. So sort of less about top tier, but more about being a promoter in boxing, especially. How hard is promoting boxing?
The hardest job I've ever done. Like we spoke about money, I've never been paid from this. I work from 7 o'clock, so when I first get up, 7:15 every day, or 14. It's a weird one. I don't know why. I get up at 7:14 till I go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. Is non-stop. Your phone goes. First thing you think is who's pulled out, who's dropped out, who's injured. You know, and you just panic, you worry, get things over the line, and then you sit there, you have a crazy thought of older security, and you just double check absolutely everything. It is the hardest thing. It's the same as getting married. You get one day, and everything has to be perfect. If it's not, the day could be ruined. It's the same as promoting an event. If anything goes wrong and it's your fault, I'll be able to sit there and enjoy myself. And each show, we're talking tens, like nearly enough 100 grand a show. So if there's one mistake and it's ruined, that'll be a lot of graft and a lot of effort, and a lot of boxers, like, they won't notice what's gone wrong. You know, it'll just be saying it'll be my side of it. And I could never myself, and I'd feel let down. So I just make sure it's all perfect, get OCD on it, and organise it well. And that's why I chose the Brentwood Centre. So I know everything that's got to be done, keep it all in place, what I can change, how I can make better. And then now, like, I don't have to think as much as I did the first couple of shows. It's all done. Use the same team, everyone in. Now we even get in the day early, so we set up a day before rather than on the day. So little improvements all over, but yeah, it's the hardest job in the world. It's non-stop, and sometimes you're not in the room when you are. You know, like sleep over there now, thank God. But the baby's the feeding, your phone's going off, and you know it's the trainer ringing, and you're thinking, "Oh shit, why is he ringing me?" And honestly, you want to put the baby down and deal with it, because get red, but that fight you could probably save if you speak now and you've got enough time to fix it, you know. That's the hardest of it. It takes over everything. Yeah.
I've got sort of 2 follow-up questions from that. Would you say you're a perfectionist?
Yeah.
And then following on from that, does your partner find that hard?
Well, she's the business owner. She's run a salon for 9 years, successful one. Which I'm really, it's been good, but she understands, you know, like we said, just how I'm feeding the baby. She sees me look at my phone. She won't say that. She come pick the baby up with me and smile, and I'll be able to do my thing. And I think, oh, that's brilliant. Obviously, she's not going to be 100% of the time so understanding. But sounds like fight week is very, very stressful, and she's there and she takes a lot of stress off me. Like, yeah, she's a diamond, really. Otherwise, I wouldn't have married her.
And then my sort of, this is purely for clips, but it will probably do well. With the 5v5 Queensbury versus Matchroom going down at the moment, and hopefully, I mean, I want it to be announced. It's been announced this week at some point. I want it to be announced as soon as possible, really. Misfits 5 versus 5 against top tier. Would you involve yourself in that?
Well, I've got a friend, Steve-O and Ade Amos. They're spar management. So I probably, I don't know any of their fighters, to be fair, mate. I only know they've got Pro PT and is it Bevo? Bevo, the geezer with the teeth?
Oh, I don't know if Bevo's a fighter, but he's a funny guy, man.
Yeah, find him. Yeah, so I'd go against it just for a bit of views or whatever. But realistically, they wouldn't stand a chance. None of the Misfits
No,
would stand
no.
a chance. I called out. Well, I didn't call out. I got clickbaited. Boxing Central asked me to go against a Northern promoter. Well, not Northern, Sheffield. And I said,
Yeah.
well, my boxers would beat the Sky Sports boxers, so I'd rather go against them. And they actually would, but they would never go against me because they've invested in their boxers.
Yeah.
Thousands, I ain't invested in mine, and mine will go there and take their spot. So they're not
Yeah.
actually our boxers, to be fair. But yeah, so I would, but it wouldn't be beneficial. We'd wipe the floor of them.
No, well, that's what I'm thinking. Is the fact you're right. It wouldn't be beneficial from a point of like your fight. Oh, the guys you've got wouldn't have to get out of bed for it. But like, Boxer will never do it because Boxer, well, Ben Shalom seems to be a little bit worried about putting his fighters in certain fights just from sort of what's been happening in the last sort of 6 to 8 months. But I feel like Misfits would sell it. They're not. I don't think they're overly bothered about the well-being of their guys. With all respect
No,
to them.
and win, lose, or draw, you get a free fight deal, don't you? Like they look after all they care about is the build up, and then when it comes to the fight, they've got the arena packed from round one of the first fight to the last fight.
Yeah.
So they do it. The marketing's spot on, but I don't think it will all last. It will blow over, but I do like it because it's like wrestling but real.
Yeah.
It's just it's just like wrestling but real. I don't hate on it. I'll sometimes I watch it. Like the first time it was actually on like quite a big show. All my kids were sat down watching it. They asked me to buy it. Like, yeah, fair play. If you're doing that, and then when you disappear, more people want to come to a local show and watch it, or they want to go to a big show and watch it, or they've seen now the Saudis have come out and done this at a good time because Misfits were blowing up, let's be honest, and down the Saudi cards come out and they kind of took back over and went, no, this is boxing. Stay in your lane, boxing. So yeah, full credit to them. And it's like even me, I'm watching every part of this for Friday. I'm watching all the build-ups, all the interviews, and there's some cracking fights in there.
Yeah, I mean the promos, everything about what the guys in Saudi are doing is just
my promo. One of my promo videos and get excited. No one does it like us. And then Turkey El Sheikh comes out with some Street Fighter craziness, and it was crazy. I called my show Chaos, announced it, and then about a week later they called Knockout Chaos, same colours, and I was like, oh my god. But we're done now they can carry on.
He's watching all your stuff. That's what's going on. Everything.
I'm saying things in interviews, and I keep saying about 50-50s, and now everyone in Small Hall saying that, and saying that you can't keep fighting journeymen and sell tickets. Everyone keeps saying that. I'm not saying they're all copying, but I'm saying I've come in with a game plan and setting pace, and a lot of people now understanding that if they want to put on, they've got to have proper fights. You can't fight 10 journeymen and 10 real fighters on one side. It just don't make sense unless you're building a great show for the next one and your ticket prices are half the price. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree that the Small Hall level, you can see it definitely, especially with the like I said earlier, that sort of the packaging on the product, the media side. It's since you lot have come on the scene. I don't know how much money, but a lot of money has clearly been put into that side of it. It's interesting.
Yeah, and to be fair, like bringing on Smithy D from the football scene, I've known him 50. He's class. He's putting these little twists on it. Me and him have got a personality, and when we put the camera on, it comes out even more. And we really vibe off each other, and it's a pleasure to have on. But the problem was where he does so well in the football. It was, well, if he comes over to the boxing, I've got to pay his football wages. And I was like, I understand. So now I've got to build the brand for that. But YouTube does nothing, probably get like 100 to 200 views. It's useless. And that's where he can earn from. So maybe one day we keep going, we keep building it up. Like I said, the likes are getting bigger. The Instagram views are getting 54,000 views on a highlight reel and stuff. So it's getting now. But yeah, hopefully soon enough I can pay him a little bit more money and he can be full time. That'll be nice for him. But he's very good at this football stuff. When you watch him go to a football game, there's people taking selfies with him. He's good at his job, and he deserves to be paid as much as he can. So got a bit of pressure to keep him at me, to be fair.
Yeah, I watched a couple of the on the road stuff. He's very good. He's very, very good.
Yeah, I actually bought one the other day. Just to support him, And he's like, oh, you don't have to pay for that. I was like, oh, no. you're hustling. I'll support it.
Yeah. And my final sort of question, and it's only because it's sort of going back to the when you said in the IFL TV one about being sort of an academy for the big boys, and you said
Yeah.
that's sort of how far you think it could go.
Mm.
Well, I disagree with that massively because I think
Yeah.
at a small hall level, you are quite clearly the best. Maybe not the biggest yet, but definitely the best. Show quality, everything about it. I
Yeah.
think it could quite easily attract the like. All it'll take really is one massive talent that decides, you know what, Johnny, I'm sticking with you the whole way.
Yeah. But it's
I think that
hard.
could happen.
Like I just say, for instance, Ursu. I'm obsessed
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah, I know,
Unbelievable.
I
He's
know.
25 grand. Right. Just say every show I've had has lost money. Now
Yeah.
add that 25 grand loss. And not only that, if someone's fighting Ursu is asking for 25, he deserves 50 because he's twice as good as them and he needs to get paid. And he comes over from Moldova, lives in Plymouth, does his thing, stays away from everyone, trains, and he ain't really being paid yet. Like, listen, you come on my show as ticket deals, but you get looked after and whatnot. But now it's like people fighting him are asking for more money than what Ursu's getting. How does that make sense? The champion should be getting more money in my eyes, you
Yeah.
know? This small hall does not make sense. So, yeah, I do think one day I'll be better than small hall. But all I need is a TV deal that pay me per show and maybe two good sponsors, you know, like you see in the middle of the ring, they don't have the top tier sign, you have like just say William Hill or
Yeah, yeah.
Paul John, a big sponsor, just to say that's everything paid for, you know, everything paid for. I'll then go and get my sponsors, and then them sponsors can pay little purses, and my show will improve. But I think it does with me being on a TV platform where people want to sponsor as well.
Yeah, I
Soon as
agree.
that
It's a broadcaster.
Yeah. Soon as I get some good money behind me without selling the tickets, I think then we'll do well. Because then just say Ursu's on, and I built him as a brand, and I sell 200 tickets because he's on the show. Well, sweet, you
Yeah.
know, I can give you 18 grand now. I've sold sold enough tickets. You can have that. You
Yeah.
know, but at the moment, people ain't really buying off me because certain fighters are on the show yet, you know. But what I am doing is selling tables to corporate because they want to come to the show because they're
Okay.
happy that they see enough fights, they have a good night, it's safe, family orientated, they're well welcomed, you know. I put them
Yeah.
next to other businesses. So I'm just using my sales really to get me by at the moment with sponsors. But as soon as that little click happens, I can feel it happening. You know, at the start, people added me on Instagram. Then it was the blue ticks who added me on Instagram. Then it was the blue tick fighters want to fight on my show. Then it was the amount
Yeah.
of view, likes, and whatnot, you know. So we're getting there. Listen, I'm this second year of promoting, and I know where it's going to end up, and I'm proud of it. It's got done a lot better than what I thought it would do. I thought it might have took me another year to be where I am now, but at
Yeah.
the end of this year, I believe that two big sponsors and a TV platform should be in for me.
I would agree. I just wanted to ask you about one sponsor that I noticed wasn't on the bottom of the fight poster, and it might be that it's just I didn't see it or whatever. Wow Hydrate.
Oh
What's
yeah,
happened with them?
they just come off. The budget weren't there. So unfortunate, really. We're really done with them. I love their brand. I love their drinks. I drink them every day. They actually sponsored, sent me a package. I give them obviously what they send me to boxers on the show at the weigh-in, and I buy at least 3 well hydrates a day. So there's no love lost there. They just didn't have the budget no more, which is understandable. They really helped me out in the first sponsor, which is like 6 times more than most of my other sponsors. But yeah, this one there's just no budget. So I understand. I just need brands to come on that believe in my show, believe in supporting grassroots and helping me get up there and helping the group of boxers that, you know, they're not the Anthony Joshuas, they're not coming through the Olympics or massive amateurs, but they can do it on a small hall like your Lee Woods, your Josh Warringtons, you know, and then come through this style. If more people support that, then boxing will be a better.
Yeah, true. I think honestly, I think top tier's going in the right direction. I mean, I'm not anyone to talk really, but from a fan point of view,
No, it's nice to hear when people tell me that. I actually feel good and think, yeah, no, it's doing it, you know. But I never spoke or met you, I don't think. And for you to say that, then that means a lot to me, and it pushes me on.
yeah, it's good. And I'm honest as well. If Goodwin was sat here, I would let him know. But yeah, that's everything I've got. So if you've got any sponsors that you do want to shout out, or if you, I don't know if you do that, but if you do want to, go ahead.
Yeah,
Anything, top tier Instagram, whatever.
yeah, no. So I appreciate every sponsor. I've got Synergy Direct. They actually taught me how to sell. That was my first real job where I earned money. I left them and started my own company, but they supported me. They took me, then I go back and show them what I've learned, help them. To the fact is, I've just before your phone call, they messaged me now. I give them a deal. You know, they've come on, they sponsored the show. Their twin brother and Think Green supported the show. My supplier, where I bought all my renewable energy from, they've sponsored the show in Triple Solar. You know, and then like, everyone that I've been around, and like I'd go and get my hair cut, they'd speak about it, they'd buy a table. You know, like everyone's bought into the idea and they believed in me. And honestly, like we were just saying, like, I don't know, you think it's going to be successful? Well, I made a multi-million-pound company from a piece of paper, a meeting in piece of paper with a contract on it. I turned over about 4 or 5 million a year, not profit, but
Yeah,
that was all I'd done with the company. My mum's and dad, like they were proud, but you know, their friends and that, they didn't really speak much about it. And then now boxing, I've not made one penny in because they see me with a microphone and doing well and having interviews. Like everyone's
yeah,
speaks wonders of it, but I just know like this will be like my retirement. I know I'll be happy when I retired that I made my money. Done well, and then done something that I absolutely love. And
yeah,
without my sponsors, I wouldn't be able to do that. They're top to bottom, mate. They're unbelievable. Even like the printers, Image On, they help me out massively, massively. They don't charge me any extra. You know, they help out. Like someone passed away that we knew. I sent them to there. They done them a t-shirt and that. One of the boxers, the same. Their granddad passed away. They done them a t-shirt the same day to walk to the ring. It's just all these little touches. It's very close knitted, you know, and yeah, family orientated, and I couldn't do it without them. And they keep backing, they keep staying there. I suppose just the way they're being treated, the same as the boxers. Everyone's getting treated fairly, and the only one who's
yeah,
losing at the minute is me, so they don't mind.
yeah. I've really enjoyed this. It's
Yeah,
one of my best interviews I've done because it's different and it's good. Thank you very
honest.
much.
Yeah, just be honest.
Hopefully you all enjoyed that as much as I did. It was great speaking to Johnny about top tier and everything to do with boxing. If you found it interesting, please like. If you'd like to, then subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Comment, let me know what kind of interview you want to see next, whether it's a journeyman or a boxing manager or a boxer themselves. Obviously, all are doable and all will be done. So let me know. Thank you very much and goodbye.